Welcome to the Circuit of Success Podcast.
The Circuit of Success Podcast.
With your host, Brett
Gilliland. Brett Gilliland, Visionary Wealth Advisory.
The Circuit of Success Podcast. Let's start the show.
Welcome to the Circuit of Success. I am your host, Brett Gilliland, and today I've got Colt Knost with me. Colt, what's going on, my man?
Brett, thanks for having me, man. Not much. Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, I said I'm like this crazy persistent guy. Hopefully it's pleasantly persistent, but I had my first message was sent to Colt was April 30th, 2019, and the dumb, you know what, that I am. What else are you doing in the golf business in April? It can't be that busy, is it?
Yeah, you caught me at a little bit of a busy time, but hey, thanks for being persistent, and I'm glad we can do this.
And so last night I was literally watching the game, and I don't even know why. Something popped up in my mind, and I said, you know what, I'm going to send Colt a message again. And there's been numerous of these throughout the years, and he responds back, which is cool. And then I sent him a text last night, and he's like, actually, I can do tomorrow. And I'm like, shit, all right. So I moved a meeting, and now here we are. We're having some fun. So Colt Knost, he is SMU Golf Hall of Fame. He is CBS golf analyst, so check in with him. All the golf tournaments you see on CBS, you'll hear him chatting. Also on the Golf Channel, he's got his podcast with Drew Stoltz. Drew was also on the show, I think, during COVID, so 4 years ago. Subpar Podcast, a Sirius XM radio show. And here's what I thought was cool, too. The U.S. Public Links champ and the U.S. Amateur champ. Man, what a stud. But before we dive into all the questions I've got, Cole, what has helped make you the man that you are today?
I tell you what, just a lot of hard work. I'll be honest. My mom taught me at a very young age, you know, you're not going to get anywhere without hard work. And no matter what I've done, whether it's been play professional golf or now in the media world, I bust my butt at everything I do. And I also love everything I do, which is probably the biggest key.
Yeah, that's key. And you can tell too, man, you're having fun, right? And if we can't have fun at work, then why the hell would we do it?
Every job I've ever had, which I don't consider any of the jobs I have to be real ones, I've woke up every morning ready to go and so excited to get there.
I love it. What did you learn? So, I mean, you were in the golf world. Obviously, I just mentioned some of the stuff you did. You played a number of years in the PGA Tour. You transitioned to the media world. Like, how did that happen? Give us a little backstory of how you become this guy now at CBS that everybody loves.
Yeah, so I played on tour for 8 years, so I'd been out there quite a bit. Guess developed a little bit of a personality, and people started to take wind of it. And then I got hurt in the end of 2016, and had a surgery on my left wrist. Ended up having another one on my left thumb another year later. And during that time, got offered to do a couple Golf Channel broadcasts just to see how it'd go, because they were looking for younger guys to come on, because some of the older guys were obviously moving on their way out. And it didn't go that great, honestly. I had no idea what I was doing. And so then I went back to playing again, knew my career was kind of coming to an end a little bit. And the PGA Championship during COVID at Harding Park out in San Francisco, I was doing some stuff for ESPN. And I asked if I could go around and be an on-course broadcaster, and they said, yeah. And something just clicked, and I fell in love with it. The producer basically said, this is where you belong. And then when I was on a major medical on the PGA Tour, so I had a certain amount of events to make a certain amount of money, or else I lost my status. And so I knew it was pretty much done. And so I made my last event, the Phoenix Open, here where I live now, so I could play in front of friends and a bunch of family. Yeah. And when that was over, I go back to the Korn Ferry Tour, which is the minor leagues of the PGA Tour, or I had an opportunity to do like 15 events for Golf Channel. And I said, you know what, as a 36 at the time, and played on the tour for as long as I had, like, you never want to go backwards. And so I said, I think this chapter is closed. It's time to move on to the next one. And I took a little bit of a gamble because I didn't know what it would turn into, and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. So is it hard for you being out there? I mean, with the passion and love of golf, like I have 4 boys. My third one played high school golf this year. He's a freshman, and I'm traveling around all these tournaments, and here I am like, man, I just want to play. Is it hard when you're out there following these guys?
No, not really. Honestly, like I will always miss being competitive, but to watch these guys, I mean, now with what I do, I'm walking with the best in the world. And I mean, I played against them, but I wasn't always paired against them. And so to walk with Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Scottie Scheffler, and watch them play, it's like, my God, like I have no business competing against these guys. So I do miss the adrenaline and the excitement of coming down the stretch with a chance to win at the highest level. But I still get excited even when I'm on the call.
Yeah, that's cool. What is it like when you're walking with those guys? Is there much interaction and talking? I mean, know them as well as you know them. Do you see that, or is it just it's all business, man?
It just depends on who it is, honestly. Some people are different. Justin Thomas is one of my best friends in the world, and we don't really talk while I'm out there. Like, it's all business for him. You get Bryson, John Rahm, like during the major championships, they're great, and they'll talk. Xander Schauffele talks to me quite a bit going down. But it just depends, and I kind of can read the room and know if they want to have a chat or if they just want to, especially like the back nine Sunday, I kind of let them do their own thing and just worry about letting them win in the golf tournament.
Yeah, that's got to be very, very cool. Were you there when the big Scottie Scheffler thing happened?
I was, yeah. We
talk about that day, man.
Yeah, so we have the PGA Championship at CBS, but Thursday, Friday is ESPN, and we come in for 2 hours a day to give them a little bit of a break. So we were actually supposed to be on, I believe, from 10 to noon on Friday, and I woke up at like 7:30, and I had 87 texts, all this stuff going on, and I'm like, and the first thing I see is a tweet from Jeff Darlington, and I kind of thought it was a joke the way it was written, and never really thought anything. I was like, and all of a sudden, all these texts like Scottie got arrested. I'm like, what in the world? Like, I've known Scottie since he was 6 years old. He's the nicest guy in the world. What could he have possibly have done? And then it leads into this whole big story, and our people at CBS actually chose not to go on air that day because ESPN had been covering it all morning. So we had the day off. So I just got to sit back and kind of I watch on TV and watch him play incredible that Friday. And then I actually had his group. I walked with him on Saturday, and you could just tell, like, there was no gas in the tank. He struggled, no energy. I think it all hit him that night or possibly that morning. Like, oh my God, what just happened to me? Like, I'm the best player in the world. I'm having an incredible season. I just won the first major of the year at the Masters. Now I'm in a jail cell, stretching, hoping to make a tee time. But yeah, it was wild, and the support around him though was incredible. It was a tragic situation because someone passed away, but the way everything was handled was just so sad, and I felt so bad for Scottie.
Yeah, the adrenaline that dude had to be on that day. What did he shoot, 66 or something, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, 66. It came out right out of the gate, birdied the first hole.
It's like come on.
Freak.
This guy's not human. But yeah, you're gonna hit that slump, man. You're gonna hit the slump, and just the adrenaline is gone, and it was definitely a terrible situation, but one that he'll remember forever, obviously. And so when first of all, how did you know Scottie when he was 6?
So I'm from Dallas, Texas, and the golf course that I played at, basically I worked with a guy named Randy Smith, who is Scottie Scheffler's longtime swing instructor. But I was a member at Royal Oaks, was out there quite a bit in college, and Scottie and his family moved there when he was 6 years old, and they joined. And so we had been sharing the same driving range forever. He followed me around, played a ton of golf with him, and just watched him grow as a player. Always knew he was something special. Didn't know he was going to quite be this. But we just had him on our podcast a few weeks ago, and
I saw that and watched it.
Yeah, he said he's like, I can't imagine how much I annoyed you following you around everywhere. And I said, well, buddy, payback's coming because I'm in the media world now, and I'm going to need a lot of things from you. So
exactly. Number one player in the world. And think about how good he is. I saw a stat the other day. You've seen these stats, I'm sure. What was it? He has to be for 11 more years, number one, just to do what Tiger did. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's always fun when you compare the Tiger stats.
Yeah.
It's insane. I think he's at 50-something cuts right now in a row he's made. And granted, a lot of the events they play nowadays don't have cuts, but he has to make 90 more cuts. I mean, that's over 3 years of golf without missing one to get to Tiger's cut streak. But yeah, some of those stats are wild when you pull them up.
They're mind-blowing. What have you noticed even about yourself, about these guys at the top of their game? And also, we have a lot of business people that listen to this podcast. So I think sports and business tie together really, really well. What do you think gets your mind to that level of dominance, right? I'm going to win. I'm going to win that meeting, or I'm going to win on that golf course. What is it for you guys to get into that mode mentally for you?
It's all self-belief. I mean, when I was back in college, I was the number one AM in the world, and I knew I was the best. And every time I stepped on that tee, I thought I was going to win. If I didn't win, I was extremely disappointed. And I think if you look at guys like Scottie right now, I mean, he's so competitive. It pains him to lose more than he enjoys winning. And that's the mindset these guys have is, I'm going to do whatever it takes to go out and win, and I'm going to believe that I am the best, and failure is just not acceptable.
Yeah. So how did you get there? Like, so let's say, give advice to the amateur golfer listening to this. You have a bad hole or two, right? I know for me, when I don't let it affect me, obviously I do better, right? When it affects me, how do we get past that?
Well, that one's over.
That's damn round.
Yeah, I think that's what's so great about the game of golf. It's like it's 18 different stories. I mean, you can have one little mix up, maybe two little mess ups here and there, but for the most part, I mean, each hole's a new chapter, and you get to write it. And so once that first one's over, it's like, all right, we're starting at a blank page. Let's go get this one and make it the best we can.
Yeah. And if you're like me, you could have like a dream movie and like a nightmare all in like a 10-minute story, if you will. What do you think you learned most about yourself? Because what I love about golf is, and I say this to all my friends all the time, you guys earn every dollar you make, right? Nobody's going to, St. Louis Cardinals here in town, nobody's going to write you an $18 million a year check and you bat 220 and you still get your $18 million, right? You earn it all. So like, what did you learn about yourself on that journey of having to earn it all?
Yeah, listen, if you've seen me anywhere on TV, I'm not the most fit human in the world. I'm not the tallest human in the world. Like, I'm a short, little, fat guy. And I love playing sports my whole life. And I knew at age 12, I wasn't probably going to be in the NBA or Major League Baseball or the NFL. And so I picked up a golf club because my buddies played, and I fell in love with it. And I grew up in a small little town that didn't even have a golf course. We drove 20 minutes to play golf. My stepdad owned a horse ranch, so I hit balls into a pasture. And everyone my whole life told me, like, this is cool, you're good at this, but you're never going to make it. Nobody from this town makes it or anything like that. And I ended up getting a partial scholarship to SMU in Dallas, which is a great school with a great golf program. Didn't know what golf was going to lead. And I just knew that if I kept working, you never know what could happen. And I got better and better every single year until, my senior year in college. I Monday qualified for the Byron Nelson on the PGA Tour and was teeing it up in a PGA Tour event when my teammates were going to our conference championship and was in the top 10 going into the weekend. And that's when I realized, like, okay, I can do this. And I just kept going until I was the number one AM in the world, won the US AM, did things that nobody else has done in this game, and turned it into a professional career.
I was doing my research last night. One of the things I respected is, for those that don't know, when you win the U.S. Amateur, you get to qualify and you get to play in the biggest tournament, right? The Masters. And so you chose to turn pro, right? And didn't accept that invite. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so talk to us about that. How hard was that for you to do that?
Yeah, it's a very hard decision. I won in 2007. I was done with school. Like I said, I was the number one AM in the world. My stock wasn't getting any higher. My family was fine. They weren't rich by any means, but I knew I could have, changed my life, and got offered some money that I didn't want to turn down. And I also thought, going back to self-belief, like, I was playing so well. I thought I was playing as good as pretty much anybody in the world at the time. I was going to get some starts on the PGA Tour, and I thought I could win soon. And so I was trying to just strike while the iron was hot and keep this thing rolling, and went to Q school that year and didn't get my PGA Tour card, but was on what's now the Korn Ferry Tour. And I won twice that year right out of the gate, booked myself a PGA Tour card. And then I probably got cocky and stopped working quite as hard as I used to.
Yeah. So talk to us, again, a lot of golf fans listen to this podcast, some of your best moments on the course. Just share some stories that, you can't find on research, of just things that happen for you, kind of pinch me moments.
It's so cool to look back. Winning that U.S. Amateur at Olympic Club, which is one of the most historic events there is in golf, with in the gallery. Randy Smith in the gallery was just amazing. Played on the winning Walker Cup team over in Ireland for Team USA, which is the amateur version of the Ryder Cup. My partner was Dustin Johnson, an alternate shot both days. We ended up winning that. We were the first team in, I think, 30 years to win overseas, which shows you the Ryder Cup team struggles so much when they go over there. It's tough to win. Played against an 18-year-old, chubbier, curly-haired Rory McIlroy in that event. Man, it's hard to pick so many moments. I tied the course record at TPC Sawgrass during the Players. I finished third a few times on the PGA Tour, and one of them was there, which was really cool.
What'd you shoot for the tie the course record?
63, and I three-putted the last hole. I knew exactly what for. Yeah.
You still think about that, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course. People like to remind me of it too. But
Yeah.
man, just everywhere I've gone, everything I've got to do. Like after we won the Walker Cup, George W. Bush's grandpa is George Herbert Walker, and that's who the Walker Cup is named after. And our whole team go to the Oval Office and spend an hour with George W. And we were in there, and he was the coolest man. And when I would see him in Dallas, like he'd come up, and I mean, to hang with. I've met 3 presidents now, and I've played golf with one of them. Like all these things, I never thought would happen when I was a guy growing up in Pilot, Texas. It's just been an awesome ride, man, and I just look forward to seeing what happens next.
Yeah. So what do you guys do now? All you good golfers going out, you play as buddies, you play with Scottie Scheffler, let's say. You taking pops? You taking some strokes from him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't play with him much anymore because I'm out in Scottsdale, but the golf course we play at here, Max Homa, Wyndham Clark, John Rahm, all those guys are. And so I normally get 2 shots aside or 3 shots total. And we go at it, but I mean, they're so good. It's a joke, but I can hold my own if I get a couple of pops.
Get a couple pops going. I like that.
And I like to gamble. So I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing better, man. Playing with your buddies, talking a little trash, maybe have a little soda pop or something, and, are those guys able to unwind much and have some fun and play some golf just like the rest of us would, or are they pretty much dialed in all the time?
No, they're great, man, and they love coming up there and playing. I mean, John Rahm started playing in our game up here, where it's me, him, a dentist, a former NBA player, another dentist, sometimes this businessman from Romania, like just normal dudes, and he loves the action, and I mean, they don't care that he's John Rahm. They have fun with him. Talk to him like they would talk to you or I. That's
incredible. Might have to get a trip to go see my cousins in Scottsdale and get one of those games,
It's a good one. It's fun.
Bring your wallet. I love it. What are we playing? What game you play?
So we play 5 people in the group. We normally always play a high-low, and 2 guys take the wheel. So you're playing the combination of 3 teams, and there's 4 points available on every hole, 2 points for the low ball, 1 point for the high. If you get them both, you get all 4. And depending on the value of the point, it can get pretty good.
Tell me, can we talk about that on the podcast? What's a good day for Colt if we go to the 19th hole? What's a good day? What are you feeling?
It's our game. I mean, I don't care about talking about it. It's win or lose $1,000 normally.
Okay. I mean, so I'm gonna walk in and win 1,000, lose 1,000. Yeah. So we play for some good money.
It can get up there depending on how wild, depending on who your partner is and how wild it gets. But yeah, it's fun, man. I love it.
Well, if you're like me, I did this is about a month ago. We were playing Wolf. Guy takes me. We're on the last hole. I hadn't made a bogey all day long. I'm about 230 out at our club, 18th hole. I don't know what the hell happened. I literally pull it left. It one hops, goes on top of the clubhouse. I'm OP. It cost my guy $420, and I was like, he wanted to kill me. So those are great moments, aren't they? Those are so fun.
Oh, they're great. It's always fun letting your friends down.
Yeah, I love it. He's still pissed at me probably, but that's all right. So 199 events on tour. You played with Phil Mickelson, the PGA Tour. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, Phil's always been great to me. He's one of the guys that I talked to when I was getting ready to decide if I was going to turn pro or stay amateur. And so, he was one of the ones that encouraged me to turn pro just because of how good I was playing and basically told me, hey, you're going to be good enough to get back to the Masters. And I agreed with him. It didn't happen. But I can't say enough good things about how he was to me early in my career. Just took me under his wing. We played a lot of practice rounds together. Loved to talk trash to each other.
He likes to gamble.
Yeah, he does. Obviously, he's kind of gone different directions now with him going over to live and me being a PGA Tour guy. But as I've always said, like I don't. My job in the media now is to give my opinion on what's going on in the game of golf, and I know he doesn't agree with everything that I say, but as how he handled me as a friend and as a player playing on the PGA Tour, I can't say enough good things about him.
That's awesome. Are we going to leave the live PGA thing? Do we even talk about that, or are we able to talk about that?
It's beating a dead horse. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Only those few people behind the closed doors. I'm just ready for it to be over with. Honestly, I never thought
tired of talking about it.
I just never thought we'd be at a point like in the game of golf where this would be a thing, and it's crazy. Like I love the PGA Tour. I love covering their events. I watch live because my job is to watch golf. It's different, and some people like it, some don't, and that's fine.
I've watched about 38 seconds of it. I don't get it, but that's all right. That's another story.
There you go.
So again, growing up in a small town, Pilot Point, Texas, I believe is where you're from. And so when you grow up there, at what point did you think you were different?
Probably when I was, my freshman year, I started playing on the golf team. Sophomore year, I kept getting better and I started winning a lot. Probably my junior year, I found out I was different when the athletic director slash head football coach finally didn't care if I played football, and he said, "You can go hit balls during the gym hour." And so I would go hit balls over off the side of the football field, and knew I started seeing myself in the paper and all this, and I loved the game of golf, and I knew I wanted to try to do something with it. But yeah, I started winning a lot, I guess, is how I knew I was different.
Yeah. All right. So give advice to those kids right now. Selfishly, my son Hudson, who's playing high school golf, just got done, like I said, with his freshman year. What advice would you have for them? Obviously, as your freshman year to senior, you're going to get linked, you're going to get stronger, all that stuff. What do they need to be working on, and how do they get better?
Yeah, well, work on your short game. There's no doubt about it. And I think with the way the game is right now, you learn how to hit it as far as you possibly can, and then you worry about bringing it in later. When I was growing up, it was all about hitting fairways, and so you built a golf swing that was made for hitting it straight. You didn't really care about how far you hit it. And now, the Bombers make all the money. They win all the tournaments. And also just that no matter how hard you're working, someone's working harder. And that's one thing I just can't emphasize enough. I was at the golf course all day, every day. That's all I thought about. And I think that's how most of these successful professionals are. And the one thing when taking the step from high school to college, I encourage these kids so much. I get it. You want to go play at Texas. You want to go play at Arizona State, USC, Oklahoma State. You want to play at the top schools. Yeah. But in golf, it doesn't matter. There's no draft. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go play for Ohio State doing football to get drafted. You go to a place you can play, because it's cool to say that you play for Arizona State, but if you're never in the lineup, what good are you doing? Go somewhere you can get back and get ready to play professional golf.
I love that. That's great feedback. What is it about? Justin Thomas is not a big dude, right? But he hits it a mile. Rory's not a big dude. What are these guys doing? How are they training to do that?
Yeah, Rory's a freak. It's so hard to explain for him. He's obviously extremely strong, extremely fit. His hips move in directions that other people's don't. Justin Thomas, you can see he's jumping off the ground, throwing everything of that 150-pound frame he's got into it. Exactly. But yeah, I think technology has allowed us to learn why people hit it so far. And when I grew up playing, I never heard of the term "use the ground." And now we have all this data that shows these guys literally push up off the ground. They push into the ground, then push off the ground, and they're basically jumping. And that's what creates so much speed. I didn't move. I just turned back and threw.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to see. I love some technology. Some of it I think is too much because guys get infatuated with it, and that's all they pay attention to, when what matters is the score on the scorecard. But it's cool to see all the 3D stuff. The force plates is what shows how much ground force you're using. That stuff's fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating. Look at Scottie Scheffler's swing, right? His feet. Nobody would ever have taught that when we were kids playing golf, but it works.
If you just cut off his legs and just showed what his arms and hands do and how stable the golf club is all the way through impact, you'd be like, that's perfect. But then you throw the feet thing in there, what's he doing? And I think that's a big credit to Randy Smith for never changing it, because his feet have done that since he was 6 years old.
That's crazy. Waste management. What's going to happen, man? I saw some changes are going to be going on because you guys do the waste management, right? If I remember correctly.
We do it every year as long as we don't have the Super Bowl. So we had last year off, which was great. So we can blame NBC for all the.
There you go. I like that.
I'm kidding. I was there. They got really unlucky with the weather. It was so rainy, so muddy that there was only certain places people can go, and it was just there was so much traffic. People just couldn't move, so caused a lot of issues. But the guy I do the podcast and your SiriusXM show with, Drew Stoltz, is actually a Thunderbird, so he's a part of it. They're tightening it up. There's no doubt. It's still going to be rowdy. There is no doubt about that. But I just think they're going to cut back on a few things to try to be a little more in control of everything.
Yeah. That week on Instagram, just the videos you can see from people just with their phones, watching these dudes fall over. It's my God.
Yeah, that part is what it is, but playing in front of that many people and that loud of a crowd is so awesome. There's no other event like it in golf. People try to recreate it, it ain't happening. Like, it's special, man. If you don't like it, like, you don't have to play. I've been heckled as much as anybody out there, and I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love going 16 and trying to stuff it, make that place go crazy.
Oh, they go crazy. They go crazy. My buddy Derek, who's a really good golfer as well, I said, any questions? He said, yeah, ask him how you and me, meaning me and him, get a game at Shadow Creek versus you and Shane Sigsby. He said, he goes, he'd know what I'm talking about. I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I said I'd ask the question.
Well, Shadow Creek is my favorite place in the world. I was actually just there last week. Played on Wednesday with Monty and the boys out there. Shane's great. Shane was in the same member guest I was at Southern Highlands last week out there.
Okay.
It could definitely, no doubt, but it is, if you've never been there, I mean, you'll walk in and just fall in love with the place. It's not the hardest golf course in the world, but it is one of the most beautiful, well manicured. The staff is the best in the business, and just the whole experience is as good as it gets. I tell everybody, I have one day of golf left in my life, it'll be there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
More than Augusta National? Have you played Augusta?
I have. And Augusta's incredible, and it's so great. But for me and my personality and everything that I like to do, it's hard to beat that play.
That's
Shadow
awesome.
Creek.
I'll have to get out there and check it out. Did I see someplace you played golf with Michael Jordan?
I have quite a few times. Yeah.
Tell us about
I met
that.
him probably 10 or 12 years ago. So when I was playing, I was sponsored by Aria, which is an MGM property out in Vegas. And he would go there quite a bit, a lot. Obviously, he loves Shadow Creek, and they do a lot of golf events. And so, like, he had a Ryder Cup deal, and they would ask me to come out and just hang out. So got to know MJ a little bit through that. And then we teed it up several times, had a blast, played member guests at Shadow Creek together, or against each other. But yeah, man, that's one of those ones, like I say, when I was 12 years old, to think, like, I'm playing golf against the guy that I just worshipped. And
idolized him.
The fact that I'm hanging out with him at the casino and having drinks, like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And the cool that it did is just so cool.
It's a little pinch me moment. Is he a good golfer?
When he needs to be.
I love that.
You can imagine as MJ, like, when everything's on the line, he wants the ball and he normally finishes it off.
Surely he's wearing Jordan shoes, right?
Well, of course.
Okay.
But I think he's like last time I played with him, and he plays with a bunch of the boys down in Florida at his course, I think he's like a 4 handicap.
Okay. So he can bring it.
He can play. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible. Any other pinch me moments you think that would be fun for our fans to know? Just something funny, something good, something that happens. It's really not on camera, not on TV, that's going on at a tournament that we think this whole tournament's going on, but really it's something else is going on.
Well, for me, it's just like, for me working at CBS, when you think about golf, and you look at the major networks and NBC and CBS, like, there's not that many jobs out there. And the fact that I have one is pretty awesome, and I feel very fortunate. But our leader is Jim Nantz, and I was born the same year he started at CBS, which was 1985. Wow. So the only voice I've ever heard in CBS golf is Jim Nantz. And, like, now that I work alongside him, I talk to him,
in your ears.
Friends, like, I can't believe he throws it down to me and asks me what I'm thinking about a shot that Rory McIlroy's hitting. Like, that's just so cool to me. And he is the greatest dude on the planet. He has been so nice to my wife, my mom, like, everyone he's come across. It's awesome.
That's incredible. Hello, friends, right? That's a cool story as well. I mean, it's just, he's the best. He's the best. He's a pretty decent golfer, isn't he?
Yeah, he can play. He loves it.
That's what I thought.
He's only a member at like 87 clubs.
80? Well, not really, but yeah, a lot of clubs. Right. But a lot of clubs. Yeah. And he's got one. Doesn't he have the little hole on his side of his house too? Doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. The famous seventh hole there at Pebble Beach.
So, from a business advice standpoint, how do you stay a student of the game that, again, would apply to whether you're a wealth management advisor, or a dentist, or a lawyer? Like, what do you do to be a student of the game?
I'm always looking at what the younger people are doing. So, like, for me, like, it's great that in my business, I'm friends with Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Gary Woodland, Scottie Scheffler. But in 10 years, 15 years from now, like, I want to still be doing this. Those guys are going to be riding off into the sunset. So how do I stay important to these young guys? So, like, with the podcast, like, when a guy wins on the Korn Ferry Tour or a rookie on the PGA Tour, like, I'm going to them. I want to get to know them. I want to stay in contact with them. I want to take them to dinner. Like, I'm always trying to stay relevant in this game. And
That's a good
keep
point.
these great relationships, because I don't ever want to be the guy on air being like, oh, well, back in my day. Like, that's not me. Like, I want to tell you about the guy we're talking about. And I feel like one of the advantages I have is I know a lot of stuff that I think the audience cares about. And it's not just because I'm friends with them. It's because I do my work as well.
Yeah.
Getting to know the young up-and-comers like the Matt McCarty, who just won on the PGA Tour, Braden Thornberry, who's going to be a rookie on the PGA Tour. I mean, having Akshay Bhatia on our show before he was even a member of the PGA Tour. Like, that stuff helps me so much in my line of work.
Yeah, that's great. I never even looked at it that way, but that's a great thing to look at. And it's even like wealth management advisors sometimes, or, you know, that's not a big enough client or whatever. And it's like, no, man, you go get the next ones because those guys are going to be gone one day. So I love that. Thanks for sharing that. So talk to us about the podcast, man. You and Sleazy,
either one.
Yeah, you guys have a blast, it seems like, man. And so talk to us about the podcast. Tell our listeners where they can find more of it, obviously in any platform, but what it's about.
Yeah, it's called Subpar, and so it's through golf.com, but you can find it Spotify, iTunes. We film it on YouTube as well. But, man, it's just we talk a lot of golf, but we have anyone from all walks of life. I mean, we've had hockey players, baseball players, basketball, obviously a ton of golfers. We just sat down yesterday with Jeff Ma, which, if you don't know that name, he was the main character from the MIT Blackjack team. So if you watch the movie 21, the main kid in that, that was him. That was based on his life and the book Bringing Down the House. And so, like, we have guys like that on because we found that pretty much everyone loves golf. And we just want to show different sides of these guys, different personalities. Like golfers, when they go sit down with people, like, they can probably guess 9 of the 10 questions someone's going to ask. And we just want to be different and show that these guys are just normal dudes and they like to have a good time as well. They like to go out drinking beer with their buddies and watch football. And we just like to talk about, we like to have it fun. It's nothing crazy, serious or anything like that. But I think you see a different side of these guys when they come on our show.
Yeah. What are you seeing in the podcast game that was not there when you started? You're my 409th interview, so I've been doing this a long time as well. And so, what are you seeing in the game, that podcast game, that's different now than it maybe wasn't, a few years back?
It's a lot more populated. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're at like 255 or 260 or something like that. But when we first started, there was a few golf podcasts out there, nothing crazy. And I laugh even with my TV stuff. It's like, I feel like people just look and they're like, oh, that guy can do it. I can do it. So now there's 100 golf podcasts. Every former PGA Tour players trying to get in the TV world or Sirius XM, whatever it is. But it's very populated. And that's one reason, like, I want us to work so hard to stay towards the top and make sure everyone wants to listen to us every single day or every single week.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing different stuff too, not just the podcast. I think you got to have events, be doing all that kind of stuff too. I think that works, doesn't it?
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I love, like, I've spoken in front of wealth management companies, corporate stuff. I love that stuff. Going up there and telling stories. I mean, because a lot of these guys, they don't have obviously the access I do. They don't know this behind the scenes stuff, what someone is really like. And so to just go out there and explain that stuff, it's awesome. I never thought I would be getting paid to come public speak. Like, that's just something I never thought was really in my cards, but I love doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll have to get you here to Visionary Wealth Advisors, St. Louis. We'll play a little golf. We'll go on maybe Belle Reve or St. Louis Country Club or something and play. So where do our listeners find more of you, Colt? Do you have Instagram? Where's your favorite place to go?
Yeah, I've got Instagram at Colt Knost. Very easy. I'm probably more active on Twitter or X, and it's the same thing at Colt Knost. And then, obviously, like I said, Subpar. You can find anywhere the podcast. Then Sirius XM, we have Gravy and the Sleaze, which is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on channel 92 from noon to 2 Eastern. And that's a blast. We take calls on that show, just talk about this time of year. We talk a little golf and a lot of other sports because golf's happening right now. But it's fun, man. I love everything I'm doing. I'm very lucky.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much. Hang with me here while I hit finish here. But thanks so much, man, for taking my persistency, always being cool about it, and joining me on the Circuit of Success, man. It's been a real treat for me.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad we did it.